Hey guys, welcome back. Today in this video, I am going to show you 5 new CSS button animations or effects. I will teach you how to make custom hover effects and implement them in your own project. So turn on your computer and let's get started. First, open VS Code and create an HTML file. Now type exclamation and hit enter. You will have a basic HTML page where you build stuff. To see a preview of the web page, you need extensions like Live Preview or Live Server. Previously I used Live Server, but for this project I am going to use Live Preview. To install Live Preview extension, click on the extension button, search for Live Preview and click the install button. Mine is already installed, so let's go back to the HTML file. Now click this button to preview the web page. Let's create a style tag. Now inside the body tag, I am going to create a div and give it a class called main. Inside the div, create a button. Now let's design. At first, I will show you the basic hover animation which you can add to your buttons. Inside the style tag, I will give an overall margin and padding of 0%. Now let's give a background color to the body. Next, I will design the div and call it by its class name. Give it some height and width and set the background color to white. Now let's center the div. You can center a div in many different ways. I am using the transform translate method for now. I also added a border radius of 10 pixels. Now let's design the button. Again, first set the height and width and also set the font size and font weight of the text. Now add a border radius of 10 pixels. Now center the button inside the div. Again, I use the transform translate method for now. Now to add the hover effect, we have to use the hover selector on the button element. Now inside this, change the background color and the font color. So when we hover over the button, it will change color. To make the animation smooth, let's add a transition. Inside this, write transition all ease in out and the duration will be 0.2 seconds. Now as we hover over the button, we will see a smooth effect. Now let's create another effect. In this, we will use a zoom in effect. So let's copy the previous program and paste it into this new HTML file. I will remove some properties. Now make the main div display flex and also align item, center and justify item center. So the button will be in the center of the div. Now remove everything inside the hover. Now inside the button, use the transform scale of 1 and also set the transition all ease in out and 0.2 seconds. Now inside hover, change the background color and the font color and set the transform scale to 1.2. So now when I hover over the button, it will create a zoom in effect. See, it's working. Next, let's create another effect. This time, it will be a little more complicated. At first, let's create another HTML file. And I will copy the previous one and paste it in this new file. Now for this animation, I want that when I hover over the button, a background color will appear from left to right. So at first, I remove the hover selector. Then I remove the transform property from the button. Now to create that effect, I am going to use the before pseudo element. Now inside this, I will type content blank and position absolute. Now set the top, bottom, left and right to 0% and give this a background color. Also remember to set the position inside the button to relative. Now you can see that the highlighted color is showing. I also remove the border and set the background of the button to none. Inside before, I set the border radius. But the color is in front of the text. So let's set the z index to -1. Now as I hover over the button, I want this color block to scale along the x-axis. So to do that, let's set the transform scale x to 0. Also set the transform origin to right, as I want this effect to work from left to right. Now add a transition to the transform property and set the duration to 0.2 seconds. Now add the hover selector to the button and then add the before pseudo element. Inside this, set the transform scale x to 1 and transition origin to the left. See if it is working or not. Yes. See, it's working. You can also add a hover selector to the button to change the color of the font. This looks perfect. Next, let's create the same effect but from top to bottom and with 2 bars of colors. So create another HTML file and paste the previous one into it. Now I am going to use both the pseudo element before and after. Also I changed the transform origin to top. Now add hover to both the before and after. Now set the transform origin to 1 at the bottom and 1 at the top. Now let's create a custom keyframe. Now add this animation to the before and after and set the duration to 1 second and infinite. Yes, it's working. Next, let's create a ripple effect. So first, create a new HTML file and paste the previous stuff into this new file. Now remove everything inside the keyframe. Set the transform origin to center and also set the scale X to scale. And remove the transform origin inside the before and after. Next, let's create a custom animation. Inside the fade out keyframe at 0%, turn the opacity to 1 and transform the scale to 0. Then at 50%, turn the opacity to 0.7 and at 100% turn the opacity to 0. Now that the above animation is already added inside the hover, it's working. As you can see, there is only one ripple. So we need to add a delay between two animations. Let's add a 0.5 second delay. I also set the scale to 1.1 as it will look bigger. And it's working. So that's it. In this way, you can implement this kind of effect or custom animations into your own projects. I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, then please like the video, and if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe for more such content. Also, you can check out my previous video where I built a URL shortener using API without any API key. So again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.